one hot tub.
Hey, hey, hey! We're back.
That's what you started with?
Yeah, no, I had a whole week, and then I went, hey, hey, hey. Yep.
That was pretty good. After the 45 minutes of technical difficulties we went through, you went with hey, hey, hey.
And now
what's up,
it's
man?
live on the internet. We're live. That's what's up.
Cool, man. Are all your Twitch people watching this?
Currently, we are sitting at 0 viewers, so that's good.
How many when you do a Twitch? What do you say?
When I do a Twitch, what do you mean?
What is the nomenclature? Like, what do you guys? Are you? Oh, you go live, right? You say like
yeah,
go live.
you say you go live. Yeah, that's right.
When you go live, how many people usually watch you play whatever game you play?
I think on average, when I play games, it's like 0.3 viewers, 0.3. So
really?
Someone will hop in. I mean, so I'll stream usually our scrims, which are 2-hour blocks.
Less than you average less than one person every time.
I mean, the main reason I stream is just to record the scrims to watch them back later, and I have, like I've told you before, I have a program that like clips up the highlights automatically.
Yeah. So it's more. I appreciate the way that you do it. It's more like for fun for yourself.
Yeah, no, for sure. And also it's like it's 0.3, but at times you'll have like, John and someone else hop in. I mean, so I've been raided before, which is when like a popular streamer will like.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. When a popular streamer will come in and basically bring all of his viewers to your channel as he's logging off. That's a thing that they'll do. They'll raid your stream. Oh, so at that point, I mean, I don't know. I had like 30 or 40 people in there at one time.
Congrats. What is a successful streamer at these days? What's the going rate? Like, how many people do you have to like?
I mean, define successful.
That's what I'm asking you. Like, what do you think successful is? Where's like the cutoff? How many people have to be watching somebody?
I mean, you can be a small streamer and have 50 followers or 50 concurrent viewers, like every time you stream.
Is that what you would consider a successful streamer? Like a legit streamer that would raid you?
I mean, it's definitely successful, but like, could you make a living off of it?
To a raid?
What's that?
Do you have to give consent to a raid?
No, they can just come in and raid it. Actually, I think there is a setting now on Twitch that says you can't. There's a setting now that says you can't be raided if you don't want to be.
They don't do good with rape culture, huh? You can see it built into the whole infrastructure of the whole of the thing.
Well, I mean, they made sweeping changes. It's Amazon. They're ahead of the game.
True. Sorry, I derailed us. Hey, man.
No, I actually have a bone to pick with you before we jump into anything. So we did our first podcast last week, right? Okay.
We did.
Went live, put it on YouTube, sent it to you. The first thing that you text post podcast being live out there in the world is, dude, my lip flap is off. And that's fine. Okay, I'm fine with the criticism. Okay, completely warranted. There were some technical difficulties, whatever you want to call it. But you said lip flap.
Yeah.
Who says lip flap? That's like got to be the most. Is that like an industry term that I don't know about? It's a disturbing thing to say. There has to be something better for it. It's disgusting.
I've never really thought about it too much, but you're absolutely right. Like the combination of lip and flap is disgusting.
Yeah.
If you could squeeze moist in there somewhere, it would be perfect.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's just one of those. It's one of those things that that people say. Like, I think it's like an editor thing. When you're editing something and you can tell that the mouth is off, or the way that we would do cut sheets at ESPN, which were like things that basically gave a director the information on how long a video was.
Yeah.
So like if the last shot change was at like 10 seconds and the shot ended at like 14, you'd want to get out at 12, and you'd know that. And then you would cut the audio after 12.
Okay.
And if a guy was going to be continuing to talk, you wanted to cut it before he kept talking, or you'd get lip flap.
Gotcha.
Which is yeah.
I mean, of all the changes that are happening,
that disturbed you that much?
That's I was like, and I turned to Kane and said, he said lip flap.
You hit on something interesting that I think happens to people all the time. The intonation that you had when you read my text message was totally off. I was like, dude, my lip flap's off. Not like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? Or what's wrong with this You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think
That
that's
happens all.
it. Really
Hey, don't worry
does.
about it.
There
Hey,
needs to
it's
be.
okay. I forgive you.
I've said this before actually about Apple. I mean, they brag about being the first one to bring fonts to computers and having like text be different and beautiful and not this one thing.
Yeah.
It's 2020. I'm texting on my iPhone. I can't change fonts. I can't do like a silly font. You know what I mean? I could do an emoji, but fuck that. Like, why can't I just do a different font in my text?
Did you ever have your iPhone jailbroken? Back when like Dane Cook was popular and people were like jailbreaking iPhones. Did you ever?
No, I
Or
didn't. I remember we went to your
did you
house
have your
on spring.
Motorola Razr
Stop.
jailbroke?
No, I didn't. I remember I went to your house on spring break on the epic spring
Great
break
trip.
trip, and
Great
you
trip.
had your iPhone jailbroken, and it was like you were the coolest kid in town by far. You know?
So one of the things I remember about that, this, you just did it so that you could feel like you were,
Yeah,
like
you're a
hacking into the
hacker. You
Matrix,
were like
like
into
for
it.
like buying drugs on Silk Road or something. Uh, and but you could change your font, and I remember it. And
Was
you could
it
change your
cool?
font, you could change your whole fucking, you could change
So
the keyboard, the color scheme.
this was back in 2009, maybe 2010.
Yeah, yeah,
So 10
yeah.
years later, they still haven't caught on.
Well, you know why? I mean, they don't want any other font. Like that's such an iconic thing. Like people will that look of
Yeah.
the screen with the bubbles and that
Yeah.
specific font. I mean, it's a whole thing, dude. I mean, just think
But
about how valuable the ellipsis. I don't know what you call it, like the the
yeah,
three
no,
dots.
I
It's not a
definitely know what you're
haptic, but
saying.
it's like a,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How important that is.
Yeah.
Because what it does is it gets you to continue to watch the screen. I'm turning into Alex Jones. And there's lizard people that are doing it. But it gets you to watch the screen.
I mean, you're right,
and you're
though.
just staring
Yeah, I
at
mean, you're
this
right.
aesthetic. You know what I mean? So if you have all kind
Well,
of like,
and there's
if you're
like,
in Wingdings or something.
there's that whole thing about like, if you text a girl and you have a green text, like she's not going to respond. You know what I mean? Like that's
man.
like an actual
Yeah.
thing that people are
Yeah.
like held against people. It's just not.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's not
Because
that weird though.
Apple is our new religion, which is a great, great, fantastic segue to what I actually wanted to talk to you about, which we're probably already out of time. But Zuckerberg.
We got time. Halfway through.
I got Zuckerberg on the brain, bro.
You got Zuck on the brain. Is
You
this
know what I
from that
mean? Like
one picture though?
sometimes,
Is this what sparked this? That
well,
one picture?
yes. But you know how sometimes you see a news story and you're like, fuck this shit, man. I don't need fucking Mark. I don't want to think about Mark Zuckerberg, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
No, I've definitely had that thought
whatever.
before.
Like,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. But this one got me. What's he doing, man? What is he doing?
With that one picture you're talking about? Where he has white face and he's in a like whatever holding on to a
Well,
whatever.
yeah. It's sunscreen, but
Is it?
it's just a ridiculous amount of sunscreen.
I don't like. Is the sun hitting him and the camera lens is playing a trick or like? Because
You think it's?
I don't know. I don't know if it is that or not. I remember there was like this. I don't know what show it was from. It was like this in the 90s. You had this like character of a person that would go out and sit by the pool and they would cover their entire nose in like thick white sunblock. I don't know where that started. I don't know where that ended.
Oh,
but
dude, that's like a 40s, 50s, 60s thing. As my voice cracks, I'm going through puberty again, apparently.
Well, I thought sunscreen was a generally new thing, wasn't it?
No, because remember Wendy Peppercorn in Sandlot had it.
I mean, that was like the
what
year was that though?
That was. We're gonna be wildly off, and it's gonna be embarrassing. But that was the 50s, right?
Well, so I remember my mom.
Yeah, because it was right after.
I remember my mom telling me a story about her growing up in Florida, them going to the beach, and they like didn't have sunscreen yet, so they just go and they'd come back and they'd just be burnt to a crisp afterwards. And then sometime in her childhood, like it was either developed or mass produced or I don't know, maybe they just didn't have the money for it to start. I don't know.
You know what? I hope you're right, because if not, that's really sad.
Really
they just missed out on sunscreen.
Yes.
Man, poor Waz.
Or maybe it was like an anti-vaxxer thing. Maybe her mom was just like, I don't believe in it. You know what I mean?
Hey, you know what? That's actually, I do think people originally, because it wasn't good. Like the first sunscreen was probably just rubbing asbestos on you. I'm sure people, like my grandfather, who was like Italian on my dad's side, like he'd be like, "You're a pussy if you use sunscreen." You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah, yeah.
there's like a, yeah. Okay, but Zuckerberg.
Okay.
So I have some Zuckerberg questions for you, but just what did you? So you didn't you don't have reactions to this stuff anyway. Sometimes you're just like
No,
whatever. Maybe
I
it's
mean,
not sun.
I saw the picture and I was like, I kind of put myself in his shoes, like whatever. Maybe he was on like antibiotics or something, and he had to have like an aggressive amount for whatever health reason.
You're a glass half full kind of guy,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. So I was like, I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt. I said, this is probably not. He probably doesn't do this normally, and if he does, he's probably got a good reason for it. But it was pretty weird. It was definitely pretty weird. And also, I took the angle of maybe it was just a weird shot. Like, you know how cameras kind of do weird things with light. And especially with sunscreen, which reflects light, certain bands of it. I don't know enough about the details of that. But
Well, okay. I mean, he does deserve some unlucky shit like that to happen
yeah,
to him.
yeah,
So maybe it's a trick of God, as you say.
yeah.
Um,
And I sorry to interrupt. I definitely had the knee jerk of like, he is a robot and he's putting on white face to like
okay.
be not a robot. You know what I mean? Like he was like, I just put too much on this time before I went out.
Okay. This is good because this gets into my first question.
Okay.
How old will Zuckerberg be when he dies?
Oh, that's a good question. I think he's like a
I was gonna
pretty.
give you an over under, but I wanted to see you work through it.
I think he'll be around for a while. Because I think
Okay.
he's
There's a lot to consider here. Does
yeah
he get
he's
assassinated? Does he get murdered? Do we make it? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Is he one of these Ray Kurzweil guys that wants to live forever? Was the sunscreen thing an indication of that? Maybe, I don't
yeah
know.
no, I could see him going a long time. That would be my bet.
Yeah.
That he'd be pretty old and that we would be hearing about him for a long time because
Give me a number. Give me a number. We'll be the first podcast to predict how old Mark Zuckerberg will be when he
he'll
dies.
he'll probably kick it at 98. That's my guess.
Man. Okay. So then that rules out the him being a robot thing or turning himself into a robot.
Well, I mean, I think at 98 he is just going to assume a new form. You know what I mean? Like
So
he's going to die.
he
Like he's
is
going to die.
okay. So he is 36 now. So we're talking 62 years into the future.
Yes.
So we're talking 2082.
He's too smart to have people
Okay.
think he's living forever.
All right. So here's my next question. Will Facebook still be a thing when he dies? Will he outlast the company?
Yes, it will still be a thing, but it won't be a social media platform anymore.
So you
It'll
think Facebook
sell
will be
air
around
or something.
2082? 2082. You think
Yeah.
Facebook will be around?
It'll be a
Man,
thing, but
that-
it won't be like what you think it is today. Like it'll sell air or it'll sell
why
water.
do you think that? Are you just saying that because that's like the easy thing to say about like progress? Or you
No.
actually think that Facebook will last 62 more years?
I think he is a smart guy and he runs the company in a way that he will pivot very well into things.
Are you pro Zuckerberg?
I'm definitely not pro Zuckerberg. He is definitely an evil human being because and this kind of goes to a theory I have where no normal person amasses the amount of power that powerful people have because they're normal people. Like if me and you started Facebook and someone came up and they said, "We'll give
we would have
you."
started Facebook.
No, listen. And they said, "We'll give you $50 million a piece to own Facebook." We'd be like, "Done. Walk out the door. You'll never hear from us again, except for if we try to buy a sports team or something like that." Okay.
Is that a Mark Cuban shot? Hey.
You know I love the cubes. He did that, by the way.
Yeah.
So he's just like that type of a psychotic, crazy person that like just wants to reach out, grab onto, and hold on to power at all costs, and that's the only thing that matters in his head. Because it's obviously not money. Otherwise, he would have stopped doing whatever he was doing a long time ago. So I'm definitely not pro Zuckerberg.
Okay. So, question 3: will we view Zuckerberg more? And I think you might have just answered this. Will we view Zuckerberg more or less positively upon his death than we do now?
I could see him going kind of the Bill Gatesy route, where he'll try
When
to
he
do.
dies, will we be like, oh my gosh, this visionary Steve Jobs type guy, or will we be like, yo, he ruined.
No, he'll definitely
cost us.
ruin, and the world will be worse off because of him, for sure.
Okay.
I don't know if he'll do enough Bill Gatesy stuff towards the end of his life.
What do you think his vibe is now?
Bill Gates or Zuck?
Zuckerberg. Zucks.
I haven't really thought about him in a while. His
What do you
vibe
think
now.
bullies called him in high school? What do you think bullies called him in high school? By the way, what do you think is the thing he hates? The Berg or like Zuck?
Probably Zuck or something like that.
Probably Zuck.
I'm sure that's like publicated somewhere. He has probably some books or something saying it.
Oh, he probably murdered the journalist with the BuzzFeed intern that posted
he probably just got him canceled. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like
you see the Epstein judge? That's some real life murder shit. Yeah. Okay, we won't do that. Sorry, continue.
No, he's got a weird vibe right now. He's kind of like between like stuff. You know what I mean? He's taken control of a lot of people. Like all the way up to our elections are influenced by Facebook. And he's trying to pivot to other things, and I don't know what the next thing is going to be. He's kind of in this like in between.
You're secretly pro Zuckerberg. I'm sorry.
I'm not, because here's my thing with like Bill Gates. Like Bill Gates, he's doing a lot of good stuff right now, right? But he did a lot of shitty stuff to get in the position to be able to do the good stuff.
What did Bill Gates do that was shitty?
I mean, he essentially all of his business practices were shitty.
What do you got?
He developed a monopoly on computing, basically, and screwed over a lot of people in his path on the way there.
Are you friends with the people? Where are you getting?
I mean, this is just fact.
Dude, literally, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now if it wasn't because of Bill Gates. We can't trash him on a media.
That's true, but some people think he held back computing because he monopolized it. The federal government was suing him for having a monopoly and using practices to develop a monopoly.
Well,
the same year that
the federal government is
that he decided
Good point, Mike.
That he decided to start all of his charities, and like his charities
what an asshole. Curing malaria in Africa? Dude,
he's doing some good things.
We get it, bro.
He's doing some good things. I don't doubt that. He did a lot of sketchy stuff early on. Read about it, okay?
You never cease to surprise me, which is good. Which is good. You are anti-Bill Gates.
Podcast? I'm not anti-Bill Gates. I never said that. I'm just saying we can't forget about the shitty stuff.
I got two more questions.
Okay, we gotta go. We're out of time. Yeah, but let's.
Okay. So you can do these quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If you told the Berg right now that he could snap his fingers and instantly be anonymous and average, would he take it?
No.
Like, do you think right now, if no one would know,
no,
and
wouldn't do it.
Legacy didn't matter, you don't think he would?
No, he wouldn't do it. Because he could have he could have done that.
What does he do?
He probably does what he wants to do.
He's like on an e-foil surfboard with covered in fucking cream cheese, and then like he's interviewing Fauci, and then like he's having dinner with Trump, and he's running Facebook. Yeah. How is this possible?
He's a smart guy. Shit, he's a smart, like, evil dude. That's just what it is, you know. And I'm sure he's watching this right now.
Okay.
And he's gonna cancel.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
Where's Facebook going? What is Facebook in 10 years?
It's something way different than it is now.
What's the next thing?
That's for sure. I don't know. If I knew the next thing, I'd be doing the next thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's something that we don't even. It's not even a problem yet for us, so we haven't even thought about it.
That's why we're at the tip of the spear with this whole podcast thing.
Yeah, but I mean, Facebook does a lot of different stuff now. I mean, there's Facebook. We could be streaming on Facebook Gaming right now. They have their own streaming platform.
You know what they do that freaks me out?
What?
My cousin's children are 8 and 5. I don't know why I said children. It sounded weird. My cousin's kids are 8 and 5.
Yep.
And
children.
They don't have cell phones yet, but they have Facebook. And Facebook has a thing that's a kid's messenger and they kind of
Yes.
market it towards parents, right? And
Yeah.
it's like your kids don't have a phone, but like you can monitor everything. So my cousin Tyler will text my mom through Facebook,
Yeah.
and they love it. And it's like Facebook is now saying we lost all these
Yeah.
18 to whatever year olds, 12
Yeah.
to whatever year olds.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna go indoctrinate
Well, like,
kids. That's fucking crazy, man.
but I mean, everyone does that.
Yeah, but it's just so
I mean,
obvious.
everyone tries to start with kids. I mean, that's so, yeah, it's
Facebook is
obvious.
powerful. They're using the parents that are like,
I mean, that's every brand goes after kids. Any marketing goes after kids. I mean, that's just what it is. Unless they specifically say that you cannot legally market to kids, any brand goes after kids. Like cigarettes.
Yeah.
Look what happened with cigarettes and the Joe Camel thing. It was too cool
Well,
to
but
kids.
they're good for kids though, because you develop a raspy voice and you sound really cool
And
and
you sound
sexy, and
older.
you get late.
But
You're
there
like,
are other apps out there for like kids messaging. That's kind of I feel like a new space in the last, I don't know, 5 years. Because kids, because you don't want kids on general Facebook Messenger. They'll get messages from creepy old people.
pedos.
Yeah, pedos, chomos, as they say in the prison system.
Yeah,
I was reading about chomos last night.
that's
We won't
that's
get into
good.
it. That's a whole different topic. Okay,
I think that's a good time. Yeah.
we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to go to a message from our sponsor. They're new this time. And when we get back, we'll have Amos, and we'll talk about Palm Springs.
Amos.
All right.
When I was a little lad, if I wanted berries and cream, Mummy made me do the little lad dance. Now Mummy's gone. But I still like to do the little lad dance, and you might too. You just run in place. Nice form. Clap your hands. Elegant. Touch your left heel with your right, and your right heel with your left. Ha Gesture to yourself, berries and cream. When it all goes together, it looks a little something like this. You look wonderful. Now, sing the berries and cream song. Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream. Up the octave, go for it. Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream. Easy peasy. Nice and easy. Light and breezy. Delicious. And that's it. Oh, that was it.
All right, we're back.
Berries. Berries and what else?
Did you say it's berries?
Ladies
I
and
knew Amos
gentlemen,
would love that one.
Amos. Hey, what's up?
The
up,
man
y'all?
who needs no introduction, our movie buff and
Ooh.
what was the word we gave to him? Our correspondent, our movie
like buff.
correspondent,
Senior movie correspondent, senior
Senior.
Let's
movie
go with
buff.
Buff. I feel like Buff
movie
has
buff.
a good ring to it.
I feel like
All right.
buff infers some more than casual, but not quite professional. You know what I mean? Like a hobby
Yeah,
ship
exactly.
to it. You know
That's
what I mean?
what I am.
Which
know?
is true. Which is true.
But senior
It's
movie correspondent
very-
has a better ring for it, and I think I need it for my resume, so let's go with that.
All right, you're in.
like
Senior
that.
movie correspondent.
Yes.
That's what it
Welcome,
is.
Amos. Our
Thanks
first
for
guest,
having me.
not the first guest that is not married to one of us.
Not
Oh,
yeah.
legally required to be here.
Yes. You
Yeah.
watch out, Matt. I'm on the prowl.
Cheers.
All right, we're
What's
talking
going
about
on?
Mike, what are we talking about? What's the movie?
we're talking about Palm Springs today. It's a movie out
Palm Springs.
on Hulu. I said Netflix, and I got scolded by both of you in our text message. Hulu, by the way, worst platform. We'll get into that later when we talk about media
I don't
consumption.
know.
Don't even.
I might have some pushback on you on that.
We'll hit that hard later because it is
Okay.
it's just awful. So Palm Springs, we've all seen it recently. I think it came out. When did it come out?
A couple weeks
I mean,
ago.
A couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Within the month,
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
We still have not decided if we're doing spoiler free or not, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say
Let's
spoilers
talk
if you
about it
haven't seen
first,
the
and then
movie.
at the end you can do spoilers now from now forward.
I think a light dusting. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's use our discretion.
I'd like to discuss some of the funnier jokes that we all enjoyed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
First of all, with every movie that we do, we have to give my wife's Caitlin's thoughts about the one
This is
the one
news to
time
me, almost.
she's normally quiet, okay, during the movies. We'll talk a little bit, but then she'll usually chime in on one big issue.
like-
So for Snowpiercer, it was they said the
The
cigarettes
fish. No.
were extinct. No, that was the thing that she
Yeah.
kind of like perked her head up and she was like, "That's not
Yeah.
the right word." Okay.
Mommy thought.
So her thoughts.
Yeah, what was her one piece of Palm Springs?
She looked at the lead actress's mouth. She's got a weird thing about mouths. She always looks at people's mouths. And she
Okay.
goes, "Whoa, she has really big teeth."
She does.
And that was her one takeaway from the movie,
Wow.
which is true. And once she said it, probably midway through the film, couldn't stop looking at the teeth. That's all I could see.
I feel like Caitlin, she said last week that she wanted to like investigate crimes on the side. I feel like she should, because she's noticing things that are
Yeah.
very,
Picks up
like,
the dirty details.
Minute details.
Well, she'll also she'll see an actor and she'll see their mouth and she'll say, "I can't watch this person." She will completely cancel culture someone because she literally cannot look at the person's mouth move.
I mean, I
Congrats
think
to
that's
you,
a little obsessive,
It's weird. It's
Yeah.
definitely weird.
She definitely has big teeth. I'll give her that. But
Mainly
I don't
the
know,
the
she's a
canine
cool
teeth,
actress, you know?
very wide. It's very wide
Mike,
canine
when
tooth.
we do Caitlin's thoughts at the end, I feel like this is like a momentum killer at the beginning.
Yeah,
now
because it's all
we
downhill.
can do it at the, we can
Because it's
do
like,
it
do
at
our
the
opinions matter?
No, to
after
be honest,
her
I say we
opinion?
bring her in and have her explain her fucking
That'd
mouth
matter.
takes because, I mean, yeah, they're big, but like they're nice, they're white, they're straight. Her teeth, so I
Kate,
mean,
she's
yeah,
got a weird thing.
a little
She-
bigger than normal.
She
but,
has a thing where she will look at a girl's mouth and she'll tell you if she's a lesbian or not based on how her mouth moves when she talks.
That is not something that's possible.
She's pretty accurate, actually.
She's pretty accurate.
Like
Yeah.
scientist.
So, like, we'll be watching a movie, okay, and she'll be like, "I bet that actress is gay," and then we'll Google it. Sure enough, every time.
What's
is
her
almost
hit
good.
rate? I want to know her hit rate.
It's pretty good.
If it's under 75%, that's not a skill. It's just a guess.
It's definitely over 75%. I mean, we don't
Wow.
track it, but it's like usually when she says it.
Maybe you should.
Yeah, maybe we should. That's a good point.
Mike, this is almost as good as your left-handed. Everybody famous is left-handed thing.
Mike, make
Not
a list
famous.
of all the gay people that she notices in movie. I'm just kidding.
I should, but there actually is a list of left-handed actors. Okay, for real, a lot of actors. Like, I'm not going to say a majority
You
of
got me
actors,
on-
but a
you
higher
got me on
percentage of actors are left-handed than the normal population. Fact.
Is that true with athletes as well?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I think it's the creative mind, like left side, right side of brain, something like that.
Okay. All right.
And actually, Amos, you'll enjoy this, Matt. You have no idea who Pat Angelo is, but for like probably 7 years, I told that theory to Pat Angelo in high school, and I would text him every time I noticed someone in a movie shooting a gun with their left hand, writing with their left hand, something that said that they were definitely left hand dominant. I would text him, and he would be like, Stop texting me. It's 4 a.m. Why are you even awake? You're texting me that fucking Dave Franco is left-handed. I don't care."
Is he?
First,
I'm pretty sure he is.
is he
Hold on, I
Mike?
don't want to start a whole Dave Franco thing again. I listened to the first pod. You guys went on Dave
Thank
Franco
you.
for like
Thank you.
15 minutes. Though I do love Dave Franco.
Either
Mike, you are
I
correct. He
I
is
will
good.
guarantee it. Dave or James are left-handed. One of the two of the brothers
What do you
are
mean?
left-handed.
Why?
At least one of them is left-handed, is what I'll say.
How could you possibly know that?
Watch their movies. When they write, you don't write with your wrong hand in the movie. I don't care what character you're playing.
Have you ever
Unless you're like a
considered that
method
sometimes
actor.
The
That's
director
correct.
will flip the screen, and then you think you're watching him left-handed, but really he's right-handed.
Is there text in it? Because if there's text, it would show flipped. I look into
True.
this stuff.
Or,
Almost.
like,
I've
when
thought
you
about this.
play a
This is like a
character that's
20-year. I've had this theory for like
I
20
know
years.
it's not. It's more than a theory at this point. I would say it's an obsession. I mean, you've been.
I mean,
like,
it's
commenting on left. I mean, are you even left-handed? You're not even left-handed.
I'm not left-handed.
No, he's not.
Why do you?
I
why are you so
actually
obsessed with left-handed
somewhat
people?
believe that they don't have souls, but that's a whole different thing.
No, that's gingers.
Gingers. A lot of gingers are left-handed. I'm just saying.
Yeah, get your,
I'm pro everybody these days though. Everybody's got soul, man. You just gotta find it.
Are you? Wait. Okay. So are you?
I'm turning that into a soundbite.
Are you pro Zuckerberg?
Fuck no. What?
I don't think anyone's pro Zuckerberg.
Who's pro Zuckerberg? Seriously. Maybe his wife and his child, and that's it.
Mike, we just found out Mike is pro Zuckerberg.
I'm definitely not pro Zuckerberg in any way.
I asked him what he
putting him in jail?
I asked him what he thought, and the first thing he said was, well, he's really smart, and he runs his company well.
I mean, in a way, I guess.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean I'm pro Zuckerberg. That's just
sounds pretty pro. It doesn't sound anti.
Those are compliments.
let me say this right now. I am anti Zuckerberg. If I could boot him out of whatever position he's in, I would.
I know Mike. I've known Mike for like 20 years. What just happened here was him backing out of his pro Zuckerberg take right here in real time, because he was afraid that he was gonna get too much blowback about liking Zuckerberg. So he was like,
blowback from who? From Caitlin, the only other person who watches this podcast.
Huh? I mean, the first episode had 3 viewers, including me.
It actually had like 30.
Okay, so here we go. We're on the roll right now.
But I'm sure those were just Zuckerberg bots. 43 views.
So Kristen Milioti with the big mouth.
Okay, sorry. Talk about Palm Springs.
No, almost in general. Give us what was your initial thoughts and stuff.
Oh, Palm Springs?
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was funny, first of all, but not in like an annoying way, like in a nice, quirky, cool way. I thought it was an interesting, like, slight change of the whole like Groundhog Day premise. It kind of came in like halfway through Groundhog Day when Bill Murray has started to just kind of revel in being in the time loop. It just comes in there, so I kind of like that. Starting off at that point made it kind of funny, gave Sandberg some room to work with as far as like his little jokes and little one-liners. So that was good. What about you guys?
I'll take it. I liked it a lot. I thought there was just enough Sandberg humor in it to make it funny. It wasn't like, did you guys ever see, what was that, Hot Rod?
Yeah.
Too much Andy Samberg.
I'm in your camp on Hot Rod, actually. People actually kind of sneaky love Hot Rod.
Some people are like cult classic. And I love Andy Samberg, and I think he's hilarious. Sometimes his humor can be, for a whole movie, is just wears down on you.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
I was actually going into it thinking it was I'm gonna have to put up with some Samberg shit. But it was a new Samberg.
No, I liked it a lot though. The one thing that I got to talk about before we get too deep into it, the bride in that movie.
Are you gonna tell us something right now?
Yeah. Okay, the bride.
Are you breaking up with us?
No.
This one time in summer camp.
Sorry, this is a huge tangent, and I got to get it out. The bride in that movie is also in a show called Riverdale. Tell me what you guys know about the movie Riverdale, or the show Riverdale.
Who?
The Bride.
The Bride.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so do you guys know about the show Riverdale?
I know about it. Do not watch Riverdale.
Okay, the show is a drama. It's ridiculous. Caitlin watched probably 5 to 10 episodes of it. What? You liked it?
It's really good. Well, I mean, it's well done.
Did you know that it's based on the Archie comics?
Archie. Yeah, wait.
What the fuck is that pivot? Like, it's a goofy comic. It's going to turn into this tween drama show?
You were watching that not knowing it?
I was flabbergasted.
Its own world?
Like, they call the dude Archie. Like,
no, I understand that. But do the plot lines share any parallels? Or is it just the character names and the place that they live in? It's the weirdest pivot in the history of pivots.
It's like
not
the school,
a pivot.
Right?
It's an interpretation. Man, they took an Archie comic and they were like, let's make a cheesy like teen drama about it. It's great.
That's right, Mike. It's high concept comic TV shows.
I was like, Kate, and again, I didn't really watch too much of the show. I was just in and out, and I was like, that guy's name is Archie, and she's like, yeah, it's based off the comics. I was like, those goofy comics that like came in Bazooka Joe wrappers off of those comics.
That restaurant with all the goofy shit on the wall.
What made you think of Riverdale?
It's the same actress that's in that one, because that's I saw her face and I was like, I know that face. She's from the Archie comics.
She's great in Riverdale. She's awesome in Riverdale.
Caitlin couldn't even get into that show.
I can't really remember what she looks like.
She looks like the groom in the movie. Sandberg,
Not
True.
one of his first jokes is, yeah, the bride and the groom totally don't look like brother and sister. Oh, which killed. So yeah, no, sorry for that tangent, but I really liked it a lot. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it as well. I don't know. I liked.
Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
No, it was great. It was enjoyable, man. It was so charming, and all the stuff almost that you talked about, like when they got into the loop and not knowing at first, and the way they handled that whole situation. It was very enjoyable. Putting her in
Yeah,
with
it could have
him.
been done worse too. Like you could
Yeah.
really mess that up, and they didn't.
Yeah. Or you could have known that you didn't have a good enough idea and just been dumb about it, and just did slapstick shit, and they didn't. And it was actually like it held up. Putting her in it with him was like an interesting wrinkle because that's all anything is, right? You're just taking.
That was a very Passengers vibe. You know what I mean? Is that movie?
Yes. Yo,
I got
said
that specific thing watching.
Well,
I was like, he's basically isolated because he's living in the time loop alone, and then he brings someone else into it, and it's like, is that morally? And they kind of play around with it too because they have the other guy.
He did warn her.
True.
He was trying to keep her out of it.
True.
Have you seen Passengers, Amma?
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't great, I guess, but that idea is like really interesting.
I'd like to see the original cut. There was a lot of like rumors about Passengers that they like reshot the ending like 30 times and like could not decide what to do. And then I think I didn't really like the way it ended. I don't know, it was a little weird, but I feel like I bet someone had a good idea in that along the way at some point.
Yeah. But yeah, Mike, that was interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
I liked how they used that to get J.K. Simmons in, right? Like, they pay everything off really well. Like, you think it's a ridiculous gag, like a Will Ferrell movie or something might have him shoot him and then not explain it, and then they come back for the joke and it's part of the story actually, which was I thought was great.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of the movie was probably psychotic J.K. Simmons. Anytime you can really get psychotic J.K. Simmons in a movie, you want to join that together with your movie for sure. There was some funny parts with him.
He's great.
They definitely mentioned the simulation theory at one point. I thought that was kind of a high point and appropriate for this podcast.
Definitely. I mean, aside from like the surface level, like really, funny, cool parts of it, there was like an existential questions being asked the whole time, and definitely some poignant ones currently.
I thought it was interesting. They the lead actor and actress matched in attractiveness to me, which is for a comedy usually not the case. It's normally like Andy Samberg and then
hard disagree. I'm not a big Sam. I don't think Samberg's that attractive.
I mean, they're both on par with each other. I could if you saw them dating in real life, you would believe it. Whereas if you saw,
that's because the girl's usually more attractive than the guy.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Why is that a? You say that you like that? What's like what is that psychosis that you want?
That no, I mean it's kind of it takes you out of it. You know what I mean? A little bit.
If they don't match up.
If you're just like this,
you can't watch a single Adam Sandler movie, Seth Rogen movies out of the question. Because like every single one of them.
What was the recent Seth Rogen
movie?
Yeah.
That's ever been made.
I'm just. It was a nice pair. That's all I'm saying. I'll leave it at that. I won't get too deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say actually, Samberg, he looked better than his old goofy days. I feel like, but no, Miliotti's way harder than he is.
Dude, easily. Yeah,
definitely, but it was on a believable scale.
I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
The other weird thing about that movie, you learn nothing about Andy Samberg's character, besides the fact that he has a dog. You literally
and you don't learn that till
you find out nothing about him. Not what his job was. Sorry.
How long do you think he was in there?
Yeah, because they didn't really say.
He couldn't even remember what he did, or he was lying. I don't know.
I feel like they were insinuating like a lifetime. To be honest with you, they were like
I think
talking about it like it was an extremely long time.
Like years, yeah.
At least years, I think.
Which then I guess it makes sense because now he's become a different person and his past life doesn't really matter at all. But I'm wondering how much of that was intentional and how much they were like, we're just not going to tell you anything about him because that whole building him into it is boring. Like that's overdone and boring. So we're going to talk about, what's the next level if he's been in there for so long that he brings someone else into it. I don't know.
I did kind of like that the writing was good enough to pull off that character being in the time loop for years and years and years. Because I kept noticing throughout the movie, like he would say like just the wittiest thing at like the right moment to the right
Yeah.
character every single time, and that's like what it would be like if you were in the same loop
Yes.
for 10 years. You would have the correct thing to say to literally every single person.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
You know, what was the funniest moment for me that made me laugh more than I think a comedy has in a while was the bomb scare when they do the reenactment and the cake. There's a bomb in the
Yeah.
cake, and then has the French accent. Like,
Yeah.
that like comedy movies don't do that anymore. Like, they don't even go for it. You know,
No,
like
yeah.
it has to be like MacGruber or something for them to like
Yeah.
go for a laugh. Like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, even the idea of someone hunting another person because they're like, you know, want to get revenge on them, like that's a pretty dark thing, but they
Yeah.
like pulled it off comedically, so that was pretty cool.
And then he's like, "Save me the drive home, just kill me," and he's standing in his trash can. Like,
Yeah. Beat the traffic.
oh my god.
It was good, man. All right, so Amos, what we need to come up with like a rating system for you.
Rating system?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we need a thing that you
Like
will so
fucking
we can
thumbs or
gauge
popcorns or whatever?
Yeah.
something that the what is the essence of you? What do you want it to be?
That's a tough question. The essence of me. I don't know, man.
Is it like 4 dreidels or something? Like, do you want to
Oh,
give like an
jeez.
Wow.
No. Dreidels. I'm not a big dreidel guy. I don't know. I think like you should tell me. You guys are both friends with me. What's the essence of me? You want to use dreidels? We can do dreidels. Fuck it.
Well, didn't you already have a rating system? Wasn't the spicy kung pao? Didn't it
No.
have
Yeah.
like chilies or something?
No, but that's a good one.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
There's something
How
there.
spicy it is.
Yeah.
I never used one in the blog, but yeah, we can do chilies.
How did you rate?
What is-
How did you rate stuff in the blog? Like, what was your
I
rating?
didn't really rate it. I just kind of talked
You
about
just
it.
gave it a. Did you give like a even a? Because I don't. Are you still posting stuff to that? I don't feel like
No,
I've read that
I haven't
in.
posted in a while.
10
I mean, I
years.
usually do the Oscars once a year, but no, I
Yeah.
don't really post like regular reviews anymore.
Yeah, maybe chili peppers.
All right. I mean, I do love the chili peppers as well. You know.
Is there
That's
like a
pretty good,
number
actually.
Scale that they use? I know it's like Scoville units or whatever the fuck, but like, is there like 7 like levels of hotness that you could do a 1?
I think that's too many. I want to go. Let's go
5?
5 hotness. Yeah.
All right,
Are we doing half peppers though?
Yeah. Fuck
you
it.
can do whatever the fuck you want, Amos.
Yeah.
Quarter. Yeah, that's true. We don't need to have a.
Yeah. Don't
we don't
limit
need
my
rules.
pepper
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right,
range here.
Palm Springs, how spicy?
I mean, so like a 5 is going to be like the best like movie of the year or something.
5
like
is
that?
like Good Will Hunting.
Up to you, man.
0 is like I don't know, the movie 300.
Okay.
I like that movie.
First of all, you both love that movie. You
I
fucking
know.
liars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a solid 3.5. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
You know,
we
I mean,
need
there's
more
only so you can only
context
get
for
so
that
many chili
3.5.
peppers with a movie like that. You know.
Yeah.
It's
that
a
makes
very
sense.
structured. This is what you're getting, like it or not, kind of movie,
Okay.
which I like. But yeah, you're gonna have to go a little deeper if you want 4 or 5 chilies. You know.
Let me
As
ask
we
you
will
this.
find out.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the character? I don't know his name. I don't know if they ever said his name, but the guy from the Great Lakes.
The guy from the Great Lakes.
Do you know what I'm talking
What guy?
about?
What Great Lakes?
He like screamed during the earthquake. He's like, I knew I never should have left the Great Lakes. He
Oh,
has like
yeah.
5 lines in the movie, and I thought they were all hilarious. It was
I
very
don't remember what his
Creed
other
like.
lines were. What were they?
I can't remember.
I did love Peter Gallagher's character though. Sandy Cohen.
Sandy
You know?
Sandy Cohen.
He had a couple of great parts. The one the one flashback to the one special night between him and Sandberg was pretty great. What are we even doing here? Oh, God. That was pretty great.
That was pretty good.
I don't remember the Great Lakes guy that much though.
Oh my gosh, he's got a few lines in there.
What about you guys? How many? I don't know. Fucking.
No, dude, you give the ratings. We don't.
Yeah,
we're just
our
the-
opinions
we're the
don't
robots
matter
here.
about
You're
it,
the
yeah.
talent, man.
Yeah.
We don't.
That's why you're the senior correspondent. We're just like monkeys,
Yeah.
slamming stuff with fucking wooden tools right now, and you're over here typing on your typewriter or something. I don't know.
The files are in the computer.
Oh man. You know what I want to start calling people? Not really in real life, but like if I called people things, this is what I would start calling them from that movie. Pretentious sad boy. I feel like that's a very millennially appropriate
Yeah,
diss
Mike,
on
you need to get
someone.
on Twitter, man. Like that's a thing.
Is it?
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well I'm out of touch then.
You gotta just
That's
check
for
it.
certain.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
once a
back
day,
on
just
Twitter,
get a
but it's
little
just
scroll.
like I don't follow
Dude, you
the
got
right
your out of
people.
touch baby though. Like that. Like that's the card that you get when you become a father. Is you're allowed to be out of touch. Like you can't be hated on for it. So
But is it
you
me
don't have
that's
you
out
don't
of
have
touch?
time to keep up with tweets. You know.
Or is it the kids that are wrong?
Huh?
I said, is it me that's out of touch, or is it the kids that are wrong?
It's a little bit of both.
Which is it me?
Amen, brother.
All right. Do we have anything else on Palm Springs, or are we good to move on?
I think we should move on.
3.5 peppers, man.
3.5 chilies. Can you put it in post? Like slam those chilies on the screen, like 3.5 chilies.
Dude, our graphics guy is the best.
If I had any talent, yes, but no, I don't. And we don't add anything.
All right,
in
now
post.
put on a little Chiron at the bottom. Says Mike has no talent.
Chiron.
Breaking news: Mike has no talent.
Isn't that what it's called? Is it something else?
Chiron.
Chiron. I always thought it was a CH though, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is this another industry term like lip flap?
We talked about lip flap before. Yeah.
Oof.
I bet Chiron comes from the French Chiron. Yeah,
Chiron.
All right, so the next topic is kind of a broad one. It's media consumption. So since you're the senior correspondent, we want to get.
Are you giving a TED talk? Like.
No, we're not giving a TED talk. We're just intro
Okay,
the
media
title
consumption.
here. Yeah.
All right, listen up, motherfuckers. Get your paper and pen. I'm gonna give you a lecture on media consumption.
Well, it's because I want to pick your brain because you are a self-described movie buff. How do you feel about
you make
streaming
me sound so douchey. Self-described. Like I don't go around and be like, "Hey."
All right, you're actually not. I think
we
described you as that. So you're a.
Yeah, you described me as that.
So you're a a proclaimed movie buff. I got nothing.
Yeah, try another word. No. Try one more. One more.
I'm cutting my losses here. Right. How do you feel about streaming services? How do you feel about how do you consume shows? What are your thoughts? What are your overall thoughts?
It depends on the media. If I'm doing shows, then yeah, just streaming services for the most part.
Are you a binger? Do you binge?
It depends. Sometimes I am, but sometimes I prefer to watch it week to week. For example, you guys were talking about that Snowpiercer show last week. That I kind of enjoyed the pacing of it once a week.
Okay.
Well, it was something like I fell behind on Game of Thrones, didn't catch up to Game of Thrones till season 6, and at that point I was just pound all of Game of Thrones at once. So I guess it depends on the situation. Situational streamer,
That makes sense. So would you say that some shows are better off being week to week and not binge?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, actually, binging Game of Thrones, I was thinking during it, I think this might have been better week to week.
Okay.
Even though I just kind of wanted to catch up because the season 7 was about to start, so I just wanted to be up on it. But at the time, if you have certain episodes where there's a cliffhanger at the end, or at the end of the season, you want to let it sit. For example, the infamous Red Wedding. I just watched the next episode. Well, if I had sat for
that's totally
6 months with the word Red Wedding, stewing, that would have been a completely different experience. So.
Did either of you guys watch the show Watchmen?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff, and they do it in Westworld too, where you don't know everything that's going on as it's going on. There's a lot of fan theories, and I feel like binging a show like that ruins it because you see the start to the finish, and there's not that week to week. I joined the Watchmen Reddit, and I was everyone had theories about different stuff, and it was kind of cool to think about okay, what could this be? Where is this going? Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
for sure. I agree. I agree with Watchmen as well. Watchmen was sick.
Matt, you never watched Watchmen?
No, I didn't. It's
probably the number one thing of the last year for me, as far as television.
It really was great. Caitlin loved it. I loved it.
It was excellent.
Did you read the graphic novel and stuff?
I did not.
I always thought that I had never read that shit, so diving in just pushed it down.
The only prior knowledge I had of it was the movie, which was completely different. They completely went in an entirely new direction, just using the same characters. But man, it was intense, shot awesome, visually really cool,
Yeah.
like really like fucked up and like different, like
Yeah, it's
unlike
very
anything
different.
that's really
Yeah.
else on TV.
And Caitlin had never seen the movie or read the graphic novel or anything. She enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Like coming in blank. And she now wants to watch the movie to kind of
the
relearn
movie
everything.
will probably disappoint after that show.
That's true. Maybe lead in with the
Like-
movie.
Did she enjoy it as in like so much that she didn't play on her phone while it was on?
Yes, she was fully
Oh,
engaged.
wow.
Yeah.
Mike, is Caitlin like a habitual phone player during movies and stuff?
She's not, but I mean, we have different tastes in
Oh,
things.
God,
and I'll be like
that's a-
really into something, and she won't, and I understand that. But if like we both are interested in a movie, and then she starts playing with her phone, I'll be like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Or if I'm
that
trying
the
to
best?
show her a movie and she's playing with her
both
phone.
of you, if both of you are into it, then gotcha.
Man,
Yeah.
isn't that the best? Just like watching a movie with somebody where neither of you are on your phone.
Yeah, it's the best. I love it.
Oh my god!
And then you can like talk about it after, and like, oh,
It's
like
like
what you
being
think?
in
Yeah,
nature.
yeah.
It's like I'm in the
Right.
forest.
But if
Remember
I'm trying to watch,
trees?
if I'm trying to watch like the Han Solo movie, like she has no interest in that. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, no, that's different. Like,
And I don't
if
blame
I'm
her
watching
for
the
that.
Han Solo movie, I'm on my phone. But
Yeah, exactly. So,
if you're watching The Watchmen, though, I'm
so
not on my phone during that. It's
So let me
fucking
ask you this,
stupid.
Amos.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt, I'm asking all the questions. I'll let you get in a word here.
I got three. I got
Yeah,
three.
are you guys
Okay.
doing rapid fire too? I was looking forward to it.
Yeah. Where are we at? It was time wise.
We got time. Don't worry about
Fuck
it.
time,
Alright, good.
dude.
Yeah.
All right, good.
I was gonna say, so that's streaming
Time is
shows.
a flat circle, man.
So
Amen,
that
brother.
shows. How about movies? Are you still a big movie theater person?
Yeah, I'm a movie theater purist. If I'm
Okay.
being honest with you,
Is there a certain?
I'm not judgy, but for me, it's like a sanctuary. I love movie theaters. I'm gonna be really, really sad if like I can't go to movie theaters ever again. It's gonna
Okay,
fucking suck.
I'm kind of the same way. How do you feel about like IMAX? Do you always hit up the IMAX if it's available, or is that kind of
No,
indifferent?
that's dependent on like the director or like the content of the
Okay.
movie. Like if it's like a visual cool thing to see on IMAX, then yeah, I'll go see it. But I don't like need IMAX or 3D. I definitely don't want to see 3D ever.
Ever. Okay.
Yeah,
That's fair.
even like Avatar. I went and saw Avatar thinking IMAX, but I didn't want to see the 3D version.
That was such a long time ago. I thought we saw Avatar together with my mom.
No, that was something else. The three of us went to a lot of movies.
Yeah.
You and your mom, but
My mom loves the movies. We always. That
no, I
was
think
kind of our
Avatar I
thing,
saw
going
with
to movies
the
together.
Station Kids.
The Station Kids. Is that who was there? Stool?
Yeah, he was up for the weekend.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. What do you got?
Matt, what do you think about theater? Are you a big theater guy?
No, not
Musical
as much as you
theater.
are.
I
I
think he
mean,
is.
yeah, I love the Broadway. No, I mean I enjoy it. You know, it's definitely a better way to watch certain movies. You know, I would have little interest in like the big Avengers movies and stuff, which I was going to ask you about. But if
Ask
it
me
wasn't
about
like if it wasn't like a big screen thing, but it is interesting. I mean, the first question I had was like, the Tenet's not coming out, and pretty much everything that was going to be like a big summer blockbuster, they're just pushing it back. Like, when are we going to see movies in theaters? Like, how long are they going to hold these things?
It's not looking good at the moment. Like Tenet, Christopher Nolan's been trying to get Tenet out for like,
Yeah,
is it
Yeah.
like 2 months? I think now they keep pushing it back, thinking everything's going to go back to normal. But I mean, I don't know. Even like once the businesses themselves are, you know, legally or whatever allowed to open up, I don't even know if people are going to go see movies. I mean,
yeah.
even though it's like one of my favorite things to do is just go
Yeah.
see like a movie by myself and just sit there enjoying the, you know, immersive experience. I don't
Yeah.
think I want to go to a movie theater for like quite a while. Like, I'm not trying to get COVID.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sit with some jackass like coughing on my neck.
You know what I was?
It's gonna be
There's certain movies that like specifically seeing him in the theaters, I feel like is much better with. One of the recent ones was A Quiet Place. Did either of you guys see that in theaters?
Oh yeah.
no, but I heard, yeah.
So it was the weirdest thing because there's no sound in that movie. There's very little. So you're sitting in a room with however many other strangers, and there's no, like, normally there's that loud movie sound that kind of like makes you forget about the people around you a little bit unless something
Right.
goes on and there's a reaction to it.
Yeah,
It's
you're
just
just hearing
like
like
silence. Yeah, it was eerie. It was something
It is
definitely
eerie.
different that I had not experienced before.
yeah, it was only like the first like 30 minutes though, right? Then there's sound.
No, I mean there is definitely sound in the movie, but it's in action sequences in short
Yeah.
spurts. You know what I mean? Like there's never. I think maybe at the very end there's a long sound sequence, but you know they're pretty quiet the whole time.
True.
They're spikes,
No
but there's
dialogue,
not.
really.
Yeah.
You know it's exactly like that?
What's that, Matt?
Snakes on a plane.
Love Snakes on a Plane.
I remember seeing Snakes on a Plane in a theater, and the experience being so amazing because everybody was laughing at all the
For
parts
sure.
that you were laughing at.
Yeah,
And it was trying to be serious, and it was just like that. It was
not trying to be serious. Snakes on a Plane was self-aware. I like Snakes on a Plane. They know what it was doing.
Right. Yeah. But
Somebody get these motherfucking snakes. You think that was not self-aware? You think Samuel L. Jackson was like, all right, we got to get into this scene because this is the scene that the snakes get released.
I
He knew what the fuck he was doing.
I have no idea if this is true or not, but I read that was a working title, and he signed on, but would on the condition that was the actual title of the movie. I have no idea if that's true or not, but it's fucking
That sounds like it
hilarious.
could be true.
Yeah.
That sounds like something Samuel would do.
Yeah, he's kind of got a track record of that. Like, he would only do Star Wars if he got a purple lightsaber.
If it was called Star Wars.
No, if you got a purple lightsaber, like, it didn't make any sense in the hierarchy of Star Wars lightsabers.
Oh yeah.
Like, you had to have the purple lightsaber.
Which is smart. Like, think of how smart that is as an actor. Like, no, I want a lightsaber so everyone knows exactly where I am on screen at all times.
But it's
like
also
every
just,
other
it's
lightsaber is
cool.
like
It's
either
like
blue,
cool.
red,
You know what
white,
I mean?
whatever.
Yeah.
So you don't really know who's who on those macro shots.
Yeah.
But on those huge shots in Attack of the Clones, you see a little purple lightsaber just like flicking around in the corner. You're like, oh, there's Samuel.
Do you think he did it because he was smart and he wanted people to recognize him, or because he thought it was cool and he wanted to have like his only specific purple lightsaber that no one else could have?
Both.
I think both.
Like, is it like a nerdy, like...
I think he talked about it, actually. He said that the main reason was he wanted, to be able to be noticed on screen no matter where he was.
Great.
And then the second one
I saw
was,
that interview too.
obviously, if you're going to be him and you get to choose your color,
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, give me that purple one.
That's dope. Okay, so I have two other questions. We can hit them quick. So
I'm in no rush.
what is the four people listening are? What's next after superheroes? Like, how much longer do we have of superheroes being the thing? And then what happens?
I don't know what's next. It's probably some regurgitation of something prior, but I mean, superheroes, like, people hate on it. I like the Marvel movies generally. I'm not like, a huge Marvel guy. I'm not obsessed with it. I don't wait in line to go see it the first day, but I like the films. And generally, if you think about it, as far as like big popcorn blockbusters, they're all really the same stories just over and over again. It's just a different, it's a different structure to tell the same story. You could probably find like through lines from fucking like Black Panther straight to like Shakespeare if you really wanted to.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Whatever.
Do you
I'm
think
sure they'll figure something else out.
Do you think the cinematic universes are here to stay, or do you think it's going to swing back the other way where people are going to want nothing to do with the cinematic?
It's too much money at this point.
I think the studios think they're here to stay, but there's been a lot of cinematic universes that have tried to launch that have just failed miserably, like the Mummy cinematic universe with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They tried to, it bombed, so they're like, we can't do it.
For sure. I think it depends on how the first few go. Like with Marvel, they just they came out of the gate so strong, and they just built 10 to 12 right in a row that were really good, interconnected between them, and they just hooked everyone. So, I mean, I think it's really just Marvel, to be honest. Everybody else kind of sucks at it. DC can't do anything. They have no idea what they're doing. The Batman versus Superman sucked, unwatchable.
Yeah.
Justice League was pretty unwatchable. Didn't really like it.
I feel like it's hard for any studio to release 12 movies that are all watchable.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, if you're in on the Marvel stuff, they have a 90% hit rate. There's 2 Marvel movies I've watched that I really don't like.
Yeah.
But if you are, into the superhero shit a little bit at least, pretty much every one is watchable, or at least you're gonna find some endearing, funny part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't like superheroes at all, you watch Ant-Man with your 10-year-old daughter, you're gonna have a fucking blast.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I feel like they themed different movies differently. They had a heist movie that was a superhero movie, like Ant-Man. They had
definitely exactly.
Each one kind of had its own different, unique feel to it.
For sure. And now they've even started a new level where they're starting to give auteur directors their way, however they want to make something. They're gonna let
Yeah.
Mangold make Logan. It's literally just like a Western / like samurai movie, but through the lens of like Wolverine. So it's like, and that movie was awesome. So
is that it then? Is it just the superhero form will mutate?
Yeah, definitely.
Pardon the pun, but like will change, and they'll just have different takes on the superhero genre, and we'll just keep superhero loop.
It'll keep forming and forming until the superheroes slowly start to get like drifted out of the story again, and then we'll go back to just regular dramas. Like they'll do a natural evolution.
In 10 years, they're gonna be like, you know what, Super is not having any power.
Right, exactly.
He's just a normal boy.
You were the superhero the whole time.
Yeah.
You know?
Thanks, Obama. Jesus, am I right? Okay. The last question I have, if you can do it quick if you can. Who's the biggest movie star of the next decade?
The next decade?
Yeah, like the next 10 years. Like anybody that you even think.
What kind of movie star? Are we talking like Tom Cruise type of movie star?
Yeah, the most famous person on the fucking planet. Who's the next person?
I guess you probably have to go with Chalamet at this point if you're gonna be gambling on that. But with different question, like if you have just like pure fame, who's gonna be, just the famous guy, the Leo or whatever, and then you have like who I think will be like the best actor going forward.
Sure.
The big Hedges guy, big Lucas Hedges.
Who's that?
He's a young actor. He's been in tons of shit at this point. You recognize him from a few different things, but
none of this helps. Give me one.
I mean, he's in like.
Matt's just looking for stock to buy right here.
He's one of those. Yeah, he's like the guy. He was
in Honey Boy last year. He was in what's the one with the freaking where he plays a drug addict? Russell Crowe's his father and Nicole Kidman's his daughter. Russell Crowe's like the pastor.
Nicole Kidman's his daughter?
Yeah, no, Nicole Kidman's his mother.
She is a great actress, Mike. She can play anything.
30 years below.
All right, so
how they age
Kingdom.
people?
He was in Grand Budapest Hotel. He was in Manchester by the Sea. He plays Casey's son.
Oh, I saw Manchester by the Sea on Christmas Day.
He's in 3 Billboards. He's in Lady Bird. He's in Boy Erased was the movie I was thinking of.
Who is he in Lady Bird?
Lady Bird, he's it's her gay boyfriend.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Her gay boyfriend.
Him?
Mid-90s, Honey Boy, like he's been in tons of shit. But he's quite good.
Okay. Him and Chalamet.
Yeah, I mean I like Chalamet, but I'm thinking that answer it's more just like I don't know, the girls seem to love him. He's a teen heartthrob,
The girls.
Yeah.
That's more of just like a stock play. Like I think Chalamet will probably like he has the easiest route to stardom.
He does have the name recognition already. That's for sure.
I mean he's got a couple pretty great performances at this point too. So
that's true. Yeah, Mike. That's all I got.
All right. I want to do the 3 rapid fire questions, and then you can ask him the big summary question here. So, all right, the rapid fire questions are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could go back in time to your 6-year-old self with your current brain, would you?
Yes.
Okay.
I did not approve these questions.
Which Office character are you?
Which Office character?
Yes.
Damn. I think I'm bits of everybody. That's the beauty of that show.
You got to pick one.
Come on.
You're on the timer.
Bits of everyone. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, because sometimes I'm Stanley, man, and sometimes I'm Creed.
Okay, which one are you right now? Which one are you right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
Fucking Creed, man. I love Creed.
Dude, did we talk about Creed last podcast?
Yeah, Creed fuck.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Last one here. Marry, fuck, kill, Channing Tatum, Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling.
Okay. I think you kill Goss, you fuck Channing, and you marry Ryan Reynolds.
That's a pretty good answer. That's a pretty strong answer.
And I love Goss, dude. I love Goss.
You can't kill Gosling. You
can.
Gosling.
You're talking
I
about
think you
your
do.
future partner. If I'm making a movie and I want the movie actor in it, I'm picking Ryan Gosling first.
That's not.
If you're talking about lovers and wives and husbands, the Goss has got to go. Reynolds has the humor and the looks, so you marry Reynolds. Tatum can dance, so if you're just gonna fuck, you gotta go
Yeah.
Tatum.
He's got good hip movement. He does. I mean, he's fluid.
I mean, if you know anything about anything,
Yeah, you know.
dancing.
He does.
All right, Matt, what you got? We have one more.
All right, Amos.
Big
we'll
one
close
here
it out
for
with
you.
this. We're cribbing these off Chuck Klosterman. It's
I love Chuck.
yeah, he's the best, and he.
Do you want me to talk about
came-
Chuck? I can do a Chuck impression.
Yeah, you got Chuck.
See, I think that.
Man, that's pretty shrill.
He's pretty shrill.
He's somewhat shrill, I guess.
No, Matt. Do you think?
Not bad.
Can we just bring you on as that character?
So his hypotheticals, he put them. I forget what book it was in, but he just has these like fun questions that he uses interstitials between chapters. So we're gonna ask you one of them. Okay, for whatever the reason, 2 unauthorized movies are made about your life. The first is an independently released documentary, primarily comprised of interviews with people who know you and bootleg footage from your actual life. Critics are describing the documentary as brutally honest and relentlessly fair. Meanwhile, Columbia TriStar has produced a big-budget biopic of your life, casting major Hollywood stars as you and all your acquaintances. Though the movie is based on actual events, screenwriters have taken some liberties with the facts. Critics are split on the artistic merits of the fictionalized account, but audiences love it. Which film would you be more interested in seeing if you only had to see one?
I mean, the fictionalized version. Obviously, I know what the real shit is.
But that's also what everybody else sees.
Oh, so you're saying not just for my personal enjoyment, what I want everybody else to see. I only get to choose one. Gotcha. That's a good question. I think in that case, I'd want the truth. You know, the documentary, real footage. I'm confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it's a true, as you say, a true, honest portrayal of who I am, then I'd rather people see that than some like whatever Harvey Weinstein thinks my life is like. Like, I don't know if I can see
Why
that
does he
shit.
get brought up every podcast?
Yeah, but you know it'd be good though. You know it'd be good.
No, he'd probably cut the best parts, to be honest.
I don't know. Wouldn't it be cool to see like Keanu Reeves playing you or something?
Keanu Reeves. Oh, thank you. That made me blush.
Or Giamatti. I don't know.
Oh, there it is. Who would I have play me? I think Giamatti would be tight, but he's so ugly that you gotta choose somebody better than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who do you think I look like? I used to look like Seth Rogen when I was really fat, or Jonah Hill. But
no, I wouldn't say that. No, you're more handsome. You know, you have a handsome face, almost.
Well, thanks, man.
Spiffed up Jonah Hill.
Above,
spiffed up Jonah Hill.
Yeah. You know who I think would do a good job?
Is that Loki?
Yeah, it's like back there. He's digging.
Hey, buddy.
You know who I think would do a good job? Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, he would.
PSH.
Yeah.
Too bad he's dead.
Rest in peace.
He's I would make a compelling argument he's the best actor of the last 30 years.
Of the last 30 years.
Yeah.
That's a take.
Yeah.
There, man. Along came
Just
Hollywood.
best. Like, skill-wise. Dude, I would have 100% cited that in my argument. Sharded, a little shit came out.
He's so good.
He's so good.
Dude, Mission Impossible 3 as the villain. He's
the best villain in Mission Impossible.
Good. He's so good. All right, Mike. I don't know if that worked. We'll see.
It's definitely an interesting question.
Yeah. See.
Ask me another one. Cut it out if you don't like it. Fuck it.
No, we don't do anything
we're live,
in post.
brother.
This is live.
Live?
We're doing it live!
Fuck it, we're doing it live. What else? I have a question for you. What the fuck is Phase 1 hot tub?
That's a good question.
Go,
If I have to guess, it sounds like some kind of like fraternity douchebaggery.
No, not really. I wouldn't categorize.
No, it's friends.
It's not a joke. Okay, all right.
So, there are apartments at Virginia Tech called Phase 1 and Phase 2.
Oh,
the Village,
yeah,
Phase 1 and Phase 2. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Phase 1 or 2, we can't really remember. We would break in at night, and they had a hot tub that you could go sit in and turn on. And
Nice.
So the premise of the name and the podcast is shit we would talk about sitting in phase 1 hot tub.
Gotcha.
So
That was like the destination. Like if we were going to Kroger at 6 a.m. to get 40s, you know, like we would go to, then we would,
As
the
you do.
place to go is the phase
Yeah.
1 hot tub.
that would be the meetup. I mean, we had good times in the hot tub.
Hell yeah. I think I might have made my way into one of those hot tubs at
I'm
one point.
sure you
actually.
did.
We all do.
I was there all the time.
Yeah.
We all do.
That's like the theoretical hot tub, of course.
We all
a
end
dirty
up in a
place.
weird hot tub at some point in our lives, almost.
True that, man.
And that's the essence that we're trying to capture here.
Hell yeah. That I support.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
As you should. That's all
All
I
right.
got.
Can I be the Will Ferrell in your hot tub? It's like fumbling like sandwich meats into the water and stuff.
Oh my god.
We're pro sandwich meat.
Hell yeah.
Phase 1 hot tub for sure.
We got to review Hot Tub Time Machine at one point.
Hell yeah.
And Hot Tub Time Machine 2. Those are 2 epics.
That's a 4 Chili Pepper movie right there.
The first one.
The first one, yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
Was there a second one?
There was a second one. It was.
I don't know if I ever saw the second one.
Yeah.
Matt, you made it this entire time without asking me about John Wall jumping on a scores table. I had this convenient paper too ready. The over/under was set at 17 minutes and 30 seconds, and you didn't do
the
it.
history of this?
God damn it!
Almost, I tend to think that like if you haven't really achieved anything, that you don't kind of celebrate it early. You know, like I'm not somebody that's going
you're
to
just your
for
definition
instance,
of achievement.
jump on a table after winning a round 1 playoff series.
Excuse me, round 2.
What else can
game
you
6,
jump on?
Game 6 elimination
What else
game
can you
round 2.
jump on?
It was to keep his chance of the Eastern Conference Finals alive. That's different than round 1. Come on.
All it tells me is that that's the highest he thought he could get. And if that's the guy
that's not
he's gonna
true.
root for,
That's just the highest
that's
he
the
got
guy-
to that point.
If he had a father that
This is so out of left field for me. I had no idea that you
I
guys
love-
even discussed this
I
before.
do love John Wall, but it is such a
Matt gives me shit because I don't think it's a big deal that he jumped on a scores table. He hit the best shot of his entire career to keep his team alive and give them a Game 7 with a chance to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. He hit a buzzer beater to keep him alive, and all he did was jump on the scores table and go like this for the fans. Was that such a big deal?
They were at home?
Yeah, at home. I was there in the stadium.
Okay. I think
Hey, if
that's
they
okay.
were away, I would have been in on it. If he was away and did it, I'd have been like, let's go. Yeah, totally fine.
Yeah.
Is this like the thing where I gave your friend shit for liking Jerry Stackhouse for so long? Like
I love Jerry Stackhouse.
Don't get me started on Jerry Stackhouse.
Are you talking about my college roommate?
Yes.
Matt? Yeah, Colette. My college roommate had literally 14 Jerry Stackhouse jerseys. Every single team he played for, college, pros, he had a jersey. But there was a reason. He went to his school.
Kid? He went to
he went to his high school.
I think that's weirder, actually.
Stackhouse went to South Lakes.
I think I knew that.
Shit. Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, a couple people went to South Lakes.
All my friends in college were South Lakes people.
Shout out Andrew Horn. Shout out Tyler Green. There you go.
Dennis Scott.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. That changes nothing in my head. All right. Do we have anything else, or is this it?
Yeah, man. That was great. Let's wrap it up.
Can we wrap this up and then just keep talking for like 30 minutes, guys?
Sure, we can do that. I'm gonna play us.
Guys.
I'm gonna play us out though. We can keep talking.
All right.
Amos, thanks for coming on, brother.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man.
Thank you, Amos. I appreciate it.
On again.
Tight.
Yeah, you'll be back. All right, guys.